All right, another busy day. I'm trying to get to answering some emails, but there's so many freaking plays. So I'm sorry if your questions aren't answered. I just got this tweet from Jennifer literally just a few minutes ago, and I just had to give her props. She's trading Wimpy, and I love it. And she waited for the earnings news on LGCY. She still bought after hours in at 241, out at 295, and she made 984 bucks. So Jennifer, props to you. That is exactly how you do it. Do not try and guess on earnings. A lot of you guys are asking, why do you have this rule in place? Well, you need to please go watch my video lessons and DVDs. Here is the address, timsykesale.com. In case you haven't taken advantage of it, we have 4 days left. This will end on Mother's Day. No more excuses with all these newsletters and DVDs. How to Make Millions specifically talks about this. Spikeability talks about this. Do not try to guess earnings. I'm getting so many questions. If you guys would just watch these DVDs where you save, 35, 50, 70% off for a limited time, you will have less questions. Trust me, I just gave a challenge webinar to my trading challenge students, nearly 2 hours long. And it's all about having the foundation. You can't build a house without a foundation. You can't build your trading accounts without an educational foundation. And if you want to call me a DVD pusher, yes, I'm a DVD pusher. Okay? It's not even DVDs if you don't want. We have them streaming online now too. It's education. I'm an education pusher, like Tina Fey in what was that movie? I don't even know. But anyways, we have all these stuff on sale, and I think it's fantastic. Jennifer, you inspired me. I also got to give props to Astrit. I'm sorry for mispronouncing your name. GLBS shorted at $1.30 on Friday, out at 67 cents, made 190 bucks. So, in case you didn't realize this is a 50% drop, and this is an awesome trade. And I know that it's not big on Wall Street, but I wanted to show you this is straight out of my DVDs. This kind of a chart where you have the supernova spike and you have a drop. By the way, it's still, even now, some people say, oh, you shouldn't buy these stocks ever. Well, I was buying this stock, if you remember, at 45 cents a share. So even now, after its big drop, it's, still at 66 cents a share. So whether you make 50% shorting it or, if I was still holding it somehow, it would be a 50% winner. There's great volatility. And people ask me, like, why do you trade such junk stocks? Why? Like, this is for, peasants. This is gambling. Because this is where the predictable money is. If you learn the patterns, morning spikes, afternoon breakouts, dip buys. Let me give you another example. MITK. This is probably my best trade of the day. This was an earnings winner in reaction to earnings right in here. It had a nice multi-month breakout above 680. I was buying it at 675. I sold it a little too soon, but it kept spiking. And notice every single day, spike, dip, spike, spike, dip, spike, dip, spike, dip, spike, dip, spike, dip, spike. So I know that this probably looks like gibberish if you haven't studied my DVDs and video lessons, if you don't have that foundation that I was talking about. But you want to buy earnings winners on dips, especially a stock like this. If you look at the multi-month chart, it is a multi-month breakout above 680. This is why I was buying it in here. I was a little too early. But today, I noticed that, guess what? Over the past few days, let me go to a 3-day chart. It had a perfect top right in here at around 760-ish. Okay? And guess what today's bottom was? 760-ish. The former tops become support. I know you think this is overly simplistic, but dip buying earnings winners that hold support works. I bought it at 763, so I didn't catch the exact bottom. My whole goal was to go to the 8s. I had a small position. It's a slow-moving stock. I didn't hold all the way, but I still made nearly $500 on this position. I was selling in the 780s and 790s, and now it went up to 8. So dip buying earnings winners, dip buying billionaire plays works. I was wrong about buying PTX for the morning spike here. I got out, cut losses, took small gains, doesn't matter. Small gains, small losses, to me, it's a scratch. As I was just telling my challenge students, I don't think you guys realize it, but I actually spend more on the text messages sending out alerts than I do with the trading profits. Trading with a small account this year, yes, I've grown my account from 12,000 to 40,000, but I'm also sending out alerts to help you guys learn. Part of the reason trading with such a small account is to help you see that you can do this with a small account. It's not just about having a big account and using leverage and scalping for 5 cents a share. I wanted to show you how to grow a small account exponentially. So yes, I'm going to send out alerts. I don't want you ever following alerts. Okay? As I was just explaining on my webinar, the alerts exist to help you see what I do every single day. I develop a plan, I form a hypothesis, I go into the stock with expectations. If the expectations are not met, I get out. Small losses, small gains don't matter. Okay? I never aim to make like 5 cents a share on a dollar stock or 10 cents a share. That's when for some reason the stock isn't doing what I wanted. And it happens. It happens sometimes. You have to admit it. You have to be okay with making mistakes. You have to be okay with small losses. Sometimes I lose and I have a small loss and it's my best trade of the day because it prevented me from having a bigger loss. So there's a lot of BS out there. There's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of liars. I need to try and cut through all the BS with good trading lessons. Any one trade does not matter. If I make 500, if I make 5,000, if I make 50,000. None of that is life-changing for me or you. I know a lot of you think that $50,000 is going to change your life. It won't. The process of what I teach, of how to make $1,000 here or there, or $500 here or there, adding up over time to 50,000, to 500,000, to 5 million. That is what is life-changing. I'm teaching you some patterns that you can rinse and repeat. So even though I got stuffed buying PTX in here, I was buying it at 125, I got out at like 135 because it just failed to spike that much, right? My better trade on PTX, which is a billionaire play, as I talked about in DVDs like How to Make Millions, billionaire and spikeability, billionaire plays tend to spike more on day 2. So you don't just have to be there for the initial spike. Sometimes I want to be there for the initial spike because sometimes you don't get a chance later on. It just keeps spiking and you regret missing the first spike. But this one came down to 90 cents and look, back in March, it actually bottomed at right around 90 cents. So dip buying this at 90 cents actually turned out to be the better play. And it went all the way up to 125. So 35 cents a share on a 90-cent stock, that's a nice 30% profit in a day off the bottom. So don't tell me that this stock is never worth buying. You just have to try at various levels. I was wrong to buy it in here, so I made like 5 cents a share. I was right to buy it in here, and I didn't hold till 125 because, again, I had patience problems. But this was a 30% winner over the course of a day, and really a 20% winner pre-market, which is, if I had held overnight, this is where I would have gotten out. I would never have held through all this. But this is where an opportunity exists. So MITK, even though I only made a few $100s today, dip buying it at support with a catalyst. This is a pattern that you can do again and 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 again for the rest of your life. That's what I want to teach you, the process. So I'm very proud of teaching you the process, and no one trade matters. So to those people out there who are lying about why I trade or why, how I teach, it disgusts me. It really does. And this is why I have more millionaire students than anybody. I'm not trying to brag. I'm trying to talk about what I'm doing actually works. I know there's a lot of chat rooms, they just mention the ticker and what they bought it at, and they're like, oh, breaking news, I'm going to buy it. Oh, good speed, good pick. I write out my whole commentary, why I'm buying the stock, what is my risk, what is my goal, because I want to teach you the plan. I don't want you to ever follow my alerts, okay? Following alerts does not make you money. Everyone agrees with that. And because I want more millionaire students, I want you making money. I want you learning. All of my millionaire students trade on their own. They don't need my alerts. They don't need me. I'm training wheels. my alerts, my planning. I show you how to create a plan, how to think of trades, how to take profits, how to manage risk. It's guidance in a world full of BS. And I know that it's life-changing for a lot of you. But any one trade does not matter. It is the process. So RESN, let me bring that up. Today, had a nice morning spike. I tried to buy it on the morning spike, and I failed. And I had to take a loss. And guess what? That's okay, because I followed my rules. It spiked on news of a big new investor. This is, in essence, a billionaire play like PTX. But like PTX, you got the initial spike, and then it did nothing. And that's okay. Sometimes that happens. You don't know if a stock is going to really spike at the open and then crash, or spike at the open and then spike some more. All you can do is try. So I would not take back this trade. I bought it at 465. My goal was to sell in the low fives. It actually did get up to the low fives, but it was all within like a minute or two, and I simply was not prepared. I thought that it could go more. This is a former runner. It's a billionaire play. I thought that it could do more. I was wrong. Should I have taken profits? Maybe. But at the same time, I'm not looking to get into a stock and out of the stock in a minute or two. I'm trying to pick plays that you guys can learn from. Whether I make or lose a few $100s is totally irrelevant. It's not going to change my life. It's not going to change your life. But the education over time, pick after pick, play after play, plan after plan, will change your life over time. But you need to understand these kinds of stocks and this kind of volatility. So was I wrong here that this morning spike would be meaningful? Yes. Did I cut losses quickly? Yes. Was that a good trade? Yes. Sometimes a small loss can be a good trade because if you follow the rules, it's a good lesson. And lessons are what this is all about. I know you guys want to make a lot of money right away. That's not going to make you a millionaire in the long run. I know I'm speaking Greek to a lot of you. You're like, wait, what? I'm not here to make money? You're here to make money over the long term. Penny stocks can change your life if you follow the right path. Or you can be like the 90 to 95% of degenerates that just play any hot pick and they just hold and hope thinking that it's going to come back. That's not going to change your life. You're going to be the same degenerate you were before I met you or before you met me and you were introduced to my teachings. Trying to change a whole class of people who are used to just following picks is not an easy task. But that is what I do. This is why I have now nearly 4,000 video lessons and so many webinars and DVDs. I want you to know these patterns inside and out. Okay, we have two new runners right now. SYNC is running on an AT&T deal. I'll be watching that tomorrow. I was giving a webinar when the news broke. Kind of wish it didn't happen like that because this is meaningful news. I probably would have bought on the breaking news, probably in the mid twos, but I would already be out. Okay, if I'm buying this at 260, 270, I'm definitely selling it in the low threes. That's best case scenario. I probably would have made like $500. Sending out the text message to everybody would probably cost me $500 roughly. I'm up, my $12,000 account has grown to 40,000 now in 4 months, but my text message bill is roughly 50 grand. So I don't do this for the trading profits. I do this for the education to show you when is a good time to get in, when is a good time to get out. How do you plan? How do you structure? People are asking me now, what should I do? Should I buy SYNC? I don't know. I'm not going to chase it. I missed the opportunity on the initial spike. They announced that they are going to have a conference call tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. So I don't want to just be in this stock after hours. I don't know what they're going to say in the conference call, so I'm going to sit and wait. Waiting is okay. There's another play, LGCY, which is, what my students are banking on. Fantastic job. And now with this one spiking, I'm going to sit and wait. ZNGA is another earnings winner. Now, I'm going to sit and I'm going to wait. We've got a lot of plays. This is a hot market, but you need to have structure with your trades. You can't just buy junk like NETE, where it's going to spike and you're just going to hold and hope. Or junk like CRDS, where it spikes and then it crashes. Look at this. This thing is down 50% off its highs now in 2 days because it's absolute junk. XGTI, same kind of thing. Junk. Junk, junk, junk. But if you are meticulous and you wait for the right news and you wait for the right patterns and you wait for the right plays, guess what? You can make money. Watch GRWC. This is my number one potential short. This is a blatant pump up from 80 cents to 240. This is going to crash 30, 40, 50% in the next few days. Just watch if you don't believe me. I'm trying to find shares to short. Astrid successfully found shares to short of GLBS and made 50%. Good job. Here's another student I got to follow. Just signed up to your group chat yesterday, in at 159, out at 185, PRGN, easiest gain ever. PRGN was a stock that I've been buying, and I didn't time it right. But it's a nice bouncer off the lows, and a lot more people banked on this run-up. I banked more on the GLBS, sympathy play. How to Make Millions DVD. Go look it up. Sympathy plays, I talk about it for hours. DB, you get a follow because you're re-quoting one of my number one lessons. Holding and hoping is not a strategy. Rule number 1 is cut losses quickly. Rule number 2 is don't hold and hope. Chad, awesome job. Bought EBIO. This was today's runner on the dip at 121. Sold it at 134. Should have been more patient because EBIO went up to what, 150? Yeah, you could have made more. But you took a few $100s in profits and you learned. So good job, Chad. Eddie, $160 in 5 minutes. You demand. No, Eddie, you are demand. Okay? You are demand. Look at you. Look at you and your beautiful girlfriend or wife. I don't know. But you are demand. Good job with EBIO. Spotting it. Michael did a great job with EBIO today. You guys need to be in the chat room. We have nearly 1,000, or actually over 1,000 traders now. We got up to 1,300 plus traders yesterday. And Michael banked on EBIO. Sniper Trades banked on EBIO. We have so many people. I can't even keep track. And I'll go through this all day, but now I'm losing my voice and I'm tired. So if you're buying these stocks for spikes, don't necessarily chase them, okay? If you're buying them for a spike at the market open, guess what? Wait and see. If it doesn't spike at the market open and you see a giant wall of sellers, you can get out and cut losses. Look at SYNC. This is really going to piss me off because this is big, big news. They're going to do $100 million a year, and this thing is probably going to keep uptrending. But I missed the initial spike of the news. You know, I was doing a Q&A webinar for nearly 2 hours, as all my Trading Challenge students are witnesses. And I didn't see it until it was already like 3:30. And I'm just not going to chase, especially with the conference call pre-market tomorrow. But there's so many opportunities. You guys need to have structure. You need to have a foundation of which to trade. Don't just be another penny stock degenerate gambler. That's how you lose money. And you make penny stocks look bad. And you make me look bad. And you make yourself look bad. And your friends and your family are like, see, you shouldn't have been trading penny stocks. You will be surprised at what you do if you go in with a plan and you're meticulous on every trade. So congrats to those of you who are riding SYNC. Where's my chat room? I bet they're loving it. The challenge chat room. SYNC breakout. Good job. Yep. I'm going to give this guy karma. SYNC is probably going to be the only legit runner. It's true. There we go. Good execution. Good execution. Let's see. How many of you are in SYNC or LGCY runners? I wish I hadn't been giving a Q&A webinar to challenge students, but shit happens. I miss them both. Please tell me you're trained well enough to recognize these runners. And again, I would not be chasing here in 350. So when you're watching this, I mean, look at this. There was a 40,000 share seller for a second. I don't know what's going to happen. I still have to review it more. I'm going to listen to the conference call tomorrow morning. But you don't have to be in every trade if you miss it. We all have different lives. I was giving a webinar. Some of you guys have school or work or whatever. There's a million reasons why sometimes you're going to miss a trade, but it's okay. Good job. Don't forget to take profits, though. This guy's in at 230. Yos is in at 230. Hudson was in at 280, out at 340. They're prepared. They did not get any buy alert from me, but this is awesome. SureTrader's having problems. I would not have an account at SureTrader. I wrote a blog post. I am not a fan of any offshore brokers in this environment. I'm sorry. Look at this guy. Yost is in at 230 and he's still not taking profits. He's up 50%. Yost, don't get greedy. Okay? This is a damn good job. Hudson Trades, this is a good trade. In at 280, sold half at 340. This is a trade that I probably would have done with 2,000 shares. And I would have made what? I would have sold 1,000 shares. So I'd be up like 600 bucks. Anyways, I'm going to go work out and catch my breath. But what a great day. So many lessons. I hope you guys really are studying and taking advantage of all this stuff. Whether your name is DB or Chad or Eddie or Michael, you guys are really getting it. And if you aren't getting it, I really, really suggest that you take advantage of timsykesale.com. Here is the link one more time, timsykesale.com. This will end in 4 days. This is for my 35th birthday. It was supposed to end May 1st, but I frankly just haven't had time to answer a lot of questions. May 8th, it is done. It is over. All of these newsletters, all of these DVDs, grow your education and, get prepared for this craziness because there's so many stocks in play. It's really kind of cool right now. Thank you.